Crypto falling, Bitcoin testing a huge neckline support area, Cardano testing its own failsafe support. Let's discuss what we need to be ready for. What's up, everyone? Welcome to Crypto Capital Venture. Thank you for coming by. If you're not a subscriber, please hit that subscribe button. It means a lot to me. Hit that like on the way in as well as we get some momentum here with these videos. Here's Bitcoin on the weekly chart. We're going to dig into it. Before we do, a quick announcement, everybody, especially if you're Crypto Capital Venture, CCV, Cardano Delegator. I just tweeted this today. I said, we have donated $20,000 to Place of Hope. Thank you, CCV Delegators. So Place of Hope, what they do is they serve children and families impacted by abuse, neglect, homelessness, and human trafficking. We've gotten to know Place of Hope. We visited it with them in November at an event. And I have this verse. This is it. This is something extremely important to Sarah and I. Seek justice, encourage the oppressed, defend the cause of the fatherless. Isaiah 1:17. Are you kidding me? Crypto gets crazy. It gets crazy. And I think it's so important, and we need to do this more often than I do, step outside of it. And especially with this YouTube channel, with what we're building with Crypto Capital Venture, what is the cool stuff that we can do to help real world people to serve? And so thank you, delegators. And most importantly, may God receive all glory. I'm just a dude here growing a business and praying that he uses me. And then real quick, delegators, as a team, we have now been helping support Place of Hope since June 2021, and our relationship with them is growing more and more. We're so grateful. Here's an event we helped sponsor in November, and there's a couple pictures from that event in November. Extremely fun. More to come. Let's jump into the Bitcoin charts. Everybody, this isn't financial advice. We're going to pivot to Cardano as well. That's not financial advice. This is data. This is data we've been tracking, and things are playing out like really, really well, actually, because things are being tested right now. Areas are being tested that we've been anticipating. Real quick clip from December 11th. So the reason why there's a head and shoulders in play in my view is because Bitcoin can very well test the 20-day moving average right there and the 50-day moving average right there. And if it does, you're going to see it trickle up a little bit. Who knows the exact price point, maybe mid 50s. Will it fail? And will we get just kind of this weak right? There we go. This was December 11th, a few weeks ago. And check it out on this daily chart. Mid 50s, not quite, right around 52,000 is where it made the move to. And you can just see, we trickled up to the $52,000 area and we trickled back down to a neckline area. It's exactly what we were anticipating in this video. The reason why we do these things is not to predict anything. It's just because we see these moves so often in crypto. And so we want to anticipate, not predict, anticipate these things. Because this took weeks to play out, first off, but now we're here. And we were patiently waiting, especially in this environment, Bitcoin just sideways like crazy. And this is where we are right now. So we're testing the neckline of this head and shoulders. This head and shoulders, I miscalculated this yesterday. It's slightly below $30,000, and it's a target to the downside we want to be prepared for. Now, I will say this, kind of at the end of the day, right as I do this video, I don't know what's going to happen next. None of us do in this exact minute, 6:04 p.m. There's still 55 minutes right around on this daily candle left. Curious to see if this support holds. We'd want to see a bounce at this level. Now, if we're opening up the RSI, now would be a nice time for a bounce. The story for a bounce is there. It's wide open to be written, meaning the stock RSI, this quicker moving momentum oscillator, has approached the oversold area. You can see at the bottom of the screen. I mean, we've been here before, right back here. I mean, this capitulation candle, Bitcoin got a bounce, right? It didn't do anything crazy, but it at least saw support. And we're looking for something similar now. We don't want a scenario where we're going to just start getting just oversold environment, downtrend, lower lows type of deal. But that's where we are right now, very close to that happening. We're looking for a bounce, though, obviously. And if you kind of open up this chart once again, you switch it to a 6 hour. We're on the daily right now. If we switch this to a 6 hour, you can just see how critical of a moment this is. And really, I'm doing this video a little bit early right now, but I can't do it tonight. I really would like to wait for this daily candle to close before posting this video, because this can get outdated very quickly. But what I'm watching right now going into this next 6 hour candle, which also closes in around 50 some minutes, is, can Bitcoin open its next candle green, and can we start getting a little bit of an uptrend to kind of try and escape this head and shoulders? And that's what I'm watching for. So everybody, at the end of the day, just be prepared for every scenario. Let's pivot over to Cardano. Want to talk about Cardano, what's going on. Cardano testing its own fail-safe support. We talked about this support area in yesterday's video. Um, I'll dig into this 6 hour because I know it's messy looking, but this fail-safe support right here, this is the fail-safe support, meaning if this Fibonacci support we were tracking did not hold, we mentioned this lower trend line that Cardano has tested over and over and over again is that fail-safe support for Cardano. So let's go back to the weekly. This is what's happening on the weekly chart. It's not the most pretty. We've already established that in terms of just trading below the 50-week moving average. We're looking for a green candle back up to that $1.60 range just to start testing that. It just has not happened yet. And Cardano getting further and further overextended and separated now from this 50-week moving average. You can see Cardano price now 20-some% below that 50-week moving average. The deeper Cardano gets, the farther away from that 50-week moving average, kind of the more bullish on the macro it becomes. So we're entering this phase now, especially if Cardano somehow starts hitting downside targets below $1, by the way, and we're going to talk about that in a minute. We're entering this phase now of accumulation. And this isn't financial advice, once again, everybody, but in my in my experience of crypto and in the history of crypto, these oversold environments, these months and months and months of downtrend, towards the end of those times, you can never call it exactly, towards the end of those seasons is just the best time to buy. It's the scariest, it's the most unknown, but it's the best. And so we have to really be prepared for this as we're looking at this weekly chart, because things could get ugly. But I don't think it would last that long. We're already from September, or actually end of August, it looks like, I guess, on this weekly chart, already months and months into this dip for Cardano. So here is a clip real quick from December 1st, over a month ago. Check this out. We do have this falling wedge. You see that white lower trend line down there that Cardano did break out of right around $1.20 to the downside target. Be prepared for that. So this is me at the beginning of December talking about $1.20 before we really got there, right? And this was kind of the setup back then. So beginning of December, right back here, we're doing that video. And check it out. This is how long, and this is my purpose of showing that clip, is this is why we do technical analysis, everybody. I'm not here to predict. I'm not here to I cover Cardano all the time. That doesn't mean I'm always expecting it to go up, right? People are like, you're so bullish on Cardano, but it keeps going down. I am bullish on Cardano. I'm bullish, extremely bullish on the weekly chart, on this macro chart, but I understand the flow of crypto. You're not going to have constant upside, right? So in these zoomed in charts, and this is where we are, we have to just anticipate every target, and in every moment of every day, be ready for an upside target and ready for a downside target, and make your decisions based on that data. That's all we can do. But these targets are hit over and over and over again. In this case, the $1.20 target was hit. And what happened next? Structure, right? There was support, there was structure. A lot of that support coming at this lower trend line that we're talking about. It's that fail-safe area for Cardano, the $1.20 area. So this isn't the first time Cardano's been seeing support in this general 120 vicinity. And it's no surprise because it was a target to the downside where we're getting this structure, right? So structure can be kind of a symmetrical triangle that you see here. Structure could be, even on the 6 hour, this potential inverse head and shoulders that we were talking about. Remember, left shoulder, we got the head, and we got the potential right shoulder. The thing about this inverse head and shoulders now is it's kind of out of play. Technically, it's still a higher low from this previous swing low, but it's just a very, very large right shoulder. But if Cardano gets a bounce off of this fail-safe area, we can still use it as a pattern. Absolutely. It really won't make much of a difference because we have the symmetrical triangle as well in play. The breakout targets to the upside will essentially be the same, which is above $2. So you might be kind of, and I just switched charts by accident, you might be kind of like, wow, Dan's talking about $2 as we're kind of just like tanking. It's a scenario where Cardano sees support where it is, and Bitcoin sees support where it is, and we get this move back to the upside. When things are bullish, everybody's just so quick to be bullish, right? And when things are really bearish, people are just quick to be bearish. it's best, in my opinion, just to retain and hold a neutral whatever. Like literally, look at the charts and be like, whatever. This is crypto. We're down a lot. And then when we're up, whatever. This is crypto. We're up a lot. Like, but anticipate the opposite of it, right? Anticipate an extreme fluctuation, meaning we could get a bounce here. This is literally at a support area. Time will tell. I'm not calling it that we're going to get this support. We want to look out for it. To the downside, everybody, this is it. For me, it's, and I know for probably a lot of people out there, this, if we get this bearish break to the downside, we have targets to the downside. There's even, I mean, we're talking about Bitcoin, right? With its own, if we go to the Bitcoin chart, its own head and shoulders right here. That left shoulder starts around August 5th. If we go back to the Cardano chart, you can kind of see back here, June, slightly before August, a potential just boom, very big head, and then just a right shoulder. Again, it's not the most pretty. I get a lot of people often are telling me that's not a head and shoulders, mainly because it doesn't look like perfect, right? They want to see perfect. For me, when I look at a chart, I don't need to see any type of perfection. I'm curious of the story being told. And we always talk about the head and shoulder story. It's like bulls trying to do something, bears stepping in, left shoulder. Bulls trying to do something, they do it stronger. Bears step in, even stronger, back to the neckline. And then bulls try and step in one last time. Bears step in and take back control. That's the story of a head and shoulders. It doesn't matter how perfectly that story unfolds, but we see it potentially on the screen right now. So we have the inverse head and shoulders reversal right now. Let me get rid of it. We have that would be the bullish reversal if we see support here right now, or the symmetrical triangle that we just talked about. Maybe we get a move to the upside, right? So testing this upper trend line, maybe we get a bounce, boom, to that upper trend line, and then we're testing 150 pretty quick from $1.23, or Cardano fails, and here's what we're looking at. There is, and whether you want to talk about it as the head and shoulders, right, that we just talked about, or you want to talk about it like a symmetrical triangle setup, the target to the downside is essentially the same. And I think I have it charted here basically on the daily chart, the target to the downside. And by the way, here's the head and shoulders. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder. Target to downside for either pattern around the 50 to 60 cent area, if not a little bit lower, especially in an environment where it's kind of capitulating and people are freaking out. That is, and I think I've had conversations about, is 50 cents possible for Cardano? Probably having those conversations when we just started entering this downtrend, and I'm just kind of like, I guess it's possible, but I don't think it'll happen. But now it's in play from a target perspective out of these more longer term patterns, and we have to be prepared for them. For me, heavy accumulation. I've already been accumulating Cardano. It's going to be heavy accumulation. It's going to be back to the type of vibes that I was getting all the way here, back on the weekly chart on Bitcoin, bottom of the bear market type of area of accumulation. That's what it's going to look like for me, for Cardano, and probably other altcoins. But that's just me. That's my approach to these markets. That's the heavy accumulation area for me, and it's in play. It is what it is. We have to track the charts. I'm just tracking it with you. I'm just doing videos. A lot of people lately, man, they're not liking it. They're not liking that I'm just consistently tracking the charts. But it just is what it is. This is a break for my day. I enjoy doing this. I enjoy growing the YouTube channel. I enjoy connecting with a lot of you awesome people out there, because I know there's way more awesome people out there. But lately, a lot of people are just, I guess, they're not liking it. And I'm assuming that's because Cardano's in a downtrend. But all is well. Let's see how this plays out. 45 minutes left of this daily candle here on Cardano as it tests this very key trend line. If we open up real quick, I'm curious, the daily momentum oscillators, here we are. Cardano kind of entering a similar area, oversold on this quicker moving momentum oscillator, the stock RSI, and just in a really iffy environment on the middle of the RSI, slower moving momentum oscillator. So time will tell. We want to see a higher low on this momentum oscillator with a continuation to the upside for a potential breakout to the upside. It's what we want to see. I had to mention it. So that's it, everybody. That's my update for the day. I'm getting very close. This is one of my last videos here in this studio as we're getting ready to move to a completely new world, a completely new state. I'm excited, And we'll see. We'll see how this next week plays out. But this is what I'm tracking for today. I appreciate all of you. Hit the subscribe, hit the like. I'll see you in the next video. God bless.